ready?
skiing football.
Okay, where do you want us to start?
Start with her date of birth.
Okay, Mom, when were you born?
I was born April 22nd, 1922, at home. And the law had passed that we're supposed to have it, my mother was supposed to have a doctor, but I beat the doctor. I was born before he got there. In 1925, my folks built a new home, and I still had my milk bottle. I was 3 years old, and the carpenters teased me so much I threw my milk bottle away.
Somebody did, you're probably still have it.
And then what, Mom?
And you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest of 7
That lived.
that lived, but actually I was number 12. My mom had stillborn, one little boy died of pneumonia those days. So I had 3 living brothers and 3 living sisters, but I actually was number 12. I was the baby of the family.
And you are the oldest of your generation.
Yeah, thank you,
You
Bob.
have outlived Auntie Mina back in Italy. She died at 97. And Carlo, he died at 95, I think. And Ulysses died at 94.
Yeah, I broke the record.
Yeah. And your sisters and brothers all lived to be in their 90s. Well, I think 4 missed it by 3 months, I think,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
I went to grammar school to 8th grade. I went to Anley High School. I just went 1 year and then I dropped out.
She was in love.
And I got married in 1941. In 1964, I think we remarried in the St. Rose Catholic Church in Santa Rosa. What else can I say?
Dad was baptized there too, wasn't
And
he?
Dad was baptized there, yeah. He went all through the Catholic.
Well, let's go back a little bit. When Buck and Dorothy were little, Dad was drafted.
Oh, that's right. In 1943,
43.
my husband was drafted in the service. That was my saddest day when he had to leave. Let's see, Dorothy was 2 and Buck was about 1.5 years because they're 15 months apart.
But you didn't even, you needed, when did you and Dad get married?
April 7th, 1941,
Yeah. And where'd you meet?
at a dance. We met at a dance. I love to dance. I danced to the big bands at Maribel Park. I danced to Harry James, Tommy Dorsey, and Les Brown, and a lot more. I had a great end of 1939 into 1940.
I remember Dorothy and I were just little. We stayed at Nonny's, and you and Dad still were going to Maribel, the big dances.
That's
They were
right.
probably what, 5, 6, 7, something like
Yeah,
that.
and you started though, didn't you start when you were about 8 years old? Your brothers and
Yeah.
sisters would take you to the
Brothers.
dances?
Yeah.
Frank
Yeah.
would take her.
She'd be 8 years old and she'd be dancing. And she can dance, let me tell you. There's not too many that
I
can
can
dance like her.
ballroom dancing and jitterbug.
Aww.
Yeah, always the first one out on the dance floor.
And your father, he came over here, my grandfather came over here in 1899?
My grandfather came from
Your father?
My father came from Italy in 1899, and he went to work to Corbel Winery for 95 cents a day, and he walked to work and back home because he never drove.
10 miles.
That was 5 miles each way.
Yeah.
And my mother was born on Martinelli Road in Forestville, California. And what else can I say?
And she was a Juicy.
She was a Juicy.
And she was the oldest of what, 5 or 6? Was she the oldest?
Yes.
Yeah. And then-
Of 6, yeah.
And the 3 ranches were together there.
Yeah, the 3 ranches, the Cinquini Ranch, the Mancini Ranch, and the Barozzi
No,
Ranch
Juicy.
were all
Juicy
connected.
Ranch. Juicy Ranch.
Juicy Ranch.
Yeah, you said Barosi or
Oh,
something.
yeah, and Barosi, four,
Okay, there
four,
were four.
four,
I
yeah.
thought there was only three.
Yeah, okay.
What do they call it, Jackass Hill?
No, that's Martinelli.
That's what
Oh.
That's Leo Martinelli
Okay.
over the hill.
No, they called it Nebraska Hill.
Oh, that's right, I knew there was
They
a hill
called
there.
that Nebraska
Oh,
Hill.
you're not Nebraska.
That house, tell him that house is still, that your father built is still, what am I saying?
It's still standing.
It's still standing.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
sold for a fortune,
Yeah, yeah.
a few years ago.
Well, there was what there? What'd you have there in Home Ranch? 18 acres, 28?
22.
22.
22,
And when they
okay.
sold it, it was what did it say, 12 left? Because the Lopez's bought it?
And they sold some off?
Yeah, to one of the sons.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But now it's back in the family, isn't it? In the relatives?
Yeah,
I guess.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bernie's
let's-
grandson bought
And
it.
then Dad, when we moved from Rankin Valley, you guys built a new home there on
That's right, we built a new home on Gurnville Road in 1951.
50, actually.
They started in 50, and Joan was born in 51. We moved in March of 51, and Joan was born August 7th, 51.
Yeah.
And we lived there 45 years, and then we moved here to Windsor.
What was your wedding day like?
Well, you went to Reno, didn't
We
you?
went to Reno,
How did you
just the
propose?
two of us.
Oh, you didn't go, nobody went with you?
No,
Oh.
they stood up for us. They had a man
Yeah,
and a
they-
woman that stood up for us in Reno, yeah. And then when we got remarried at St. Rose, Dorothy and Buck stood up
We
for
stood up
us.
for him.
Oh.
And also when Dad was baptized.
Oh, yeah, and when Dad was baptized,
Yeah.
Dorothy and,
And I.
We were the godparents.
godparents.
Well, he never had, he never had no religion and he wanted to become a Catholic,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That was what year? In the late 60s?
Oh, boy, I couldn't tell you.
Was I still in high school? I think so.
No, I was married to Frank already, I
Well,
think.
that was 62 or 63, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Hello.
What
we're
year?
doing okay, or we
You're
met.
doing great. What year did you meet Nana?
Oh, gosh,
What's that, she say?
About 3 years
about
before
19
37.
or 38, something like that, 1937.
Yeah.
And how did he propose?
Oh,
They said, you want to get married? Come on, let's go to Reno.
That's the way he did it.
Basically.
He said, "You're in trouble. Let's go."
Oh,
and Brianna, the snow was so thick going up to Reno.
got your ass in gear, bro.
There was snow on both sides of our car all the way to Reno.
Yeah. I remember pictures of your, so 30, I think, what I want to say, a 37 or 38 Chevy, I think you guys took to Reno.
Yeah,
Dad's car, yeah.
Chevy or a Plymouth.
Or Plymouth, I
I
can't
think it
remember.
was a Plymouth.
Yeah.
Talk about all your friends, Mom, all the couples that you and Dad had for 65, 70 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the old
For
neighborhood.
the whole,
Oh,
yeah,
from
and
the
even-
old
yeah, just-
neighborhood, I'm the only one
Whites,
left.
you know, the
And we had so many friends, the Lawsons and the Jennings and the Halls.
The
And you
brand.
went to Europe.
We went to Europe. That
All
was
of their
a
friends
wonderful
went with
trip. Yeah,
yeah, they,
You went to Hawaii.
went to Hawaii twice.
Did you go to Alaska?
yeah.
Yes, we went on a cruise to
We went to
Alaska
Mexico,
Yeah.
Mexico,
and Mexico, yeah.
and Jamaica.
No.
Then you
You two went.
Oh, yeah, that was
you
bad.
went, didn't you, and you guys, you and Dad belonged to Jolly Dancers.
Oh, yeah, we belonged to the Jolly Dancers
And the Moose,
and the
and
Moose,
Trenton, didn't,
yeah, and
Yeah,
Trenton.
yeah, we went, yeah.
I did a lot of dancing in my
that was
days.
basically their enjoyment, their couples, dinner and dancing, that's what they did. You know, that was their life, all of that generation.
Yeah.
A good bunch
So-
of people they ran
Yeah,
around.
they had a
It's
good-
really a nice.
Really a good group of people.
And Dad had a lot of good friends.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of his buddies passed early.
Charlie.
And he
Yeah.
worked hard, my husband worked
I
hard.
loved Ed.
He was the oldest of 12
Yeah.
children. He was born in Nebraska,
1919, 4th of July.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
He was a firecracker.
yeah.
It was a great guy.
What did he do for work?
He's a diesel mechanic.
He did diesel mechanic, he taught himself.
He was
Yes.
self-taught.
Yeah,
I think he went to
self-taught.
what, the 7th grade or 6th grade, wherever they started?
Fifth, I think the 5th grade.
Yeah, he had to
Yeah.
stop and help support the family.
Yeah, he was a very talented
He
man.
was the oldest out of 12 kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
But his first adventure was, didn't he drive truck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was a
In
truck
fact,
driver.
Buck and I used to ride,
We used to
we
go-
were just
We
little,
used to go up the coast with
up the
him.
coast. And
Mom and the
mom
and the two.
and two kids. And this one, he was so tough and so brave. And her and I would sit back and scream. Because you know, those big trucks, it was a narrow, narrow road those days. And you had
It's
to
still a narrow road.
go out, you know. You think you were just going right out over the cliff. Oh, God.
Yeah, Dad was self-taught and everything. I mean, we talked about that before. If it wasn't for, he could have had a good education, he would have been an engineer. He had that kind of mind. It was amazing. He could do plumbing, electrical. He could build anything.
Yeah.
He was just amazing, you know?
Yeah, he was
Yeah. And he made do with everything. I mean, I find little tools that he made that, what's this thing? If he had something that he had to fix and couldn't figure out, you know, had to tool it, he would make it. It was amazing.
He made his own compressor, made his own pressure
I know.
washer.
I know.
Yeah, he could do anything.
Mom became a career woman later in life. Huh?
Yeah, I worked at Joseph Magnon's in Cottingtown,
Well, you
Santa
started
Rosa.
out, you started at Crest first,
Oh, I
Yeah.
started at Crescent's at first, yeah.
and then you went to Magnum's,
And
yeah.
I worked there 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there when it first
She
opened.
had a lot of fun
and
there,
she
yeah.
worked there until they closed the store.
Yeah,
Yeah, they opened in October. No, they opened in March, and I went to work in October. And then we closed in, that was in
82.
83, the store closed.
yeah, yeah.
What was your first job?
Your very first job.
Picking prunes?
My first job
Mm-hmm.
was at a packing house in Forestville, sorting apples
That was close.
on a
But very
counter,
nice.
yeah, for 18 cents an hour.
Oh my God.
How long did you work there for?
Just a season.
Just a few months, just the apple season, the
Season.
Gravestine apples.
Oh, wait, she had another job as a waitress
Oh, that's right.
at Ingram's Chili Bowl.
Yeah,
It lasted, what, a day or 2 days?
Something like that.
She just had me, and she went to work because they needed the money.
Yeah.
She about killed herself, you know, not she had, wasn't experienced. And we laugh about that, she goes, she just wore herself to a frazzle. And it was, what was his name, Ed?
Jack Ingram.
Jack? Here before, not too long ago, after Dad died, he had emailed somebody, goes, hey Lena, you want a job?
Yeah,
And to give her a razzer after all those years about, because he knew she just about killed herself.
he was a great
What did it
guy.
last, a couple days, Mom?
Something, yeah, 2 days, I think.
What was your childhood like? Like, what would you do on a daily basis?
She
Usually?
was spoiled.
Spoiled rotten.
I wasn't spoiled.
No, you don't think?
But what did you do back in those days? There wasn't that much to do. I mean, really.
I remember one time when my uncle, my mother's oldest brother, was coming down the hill for Christmas with a dowel buggy and a dowel. My heart almost stopped.
Oh.
I was so happy.
Who had that?
Frank Giusti.
Oh, Frank Juicy.
Little Frank?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And my brothers, they gave me like little play accordions, a little black saxophone.
But yet she wasn't spoiled.
It wasn't a big deal, but in those days, that was a lot.
that was
Yeah,
a lot.
It was
yeah.
a lot. And you used to steal pennies from your brother Frank?
He played pinochle,
Mm-hmm.
and I go in the trunk and I take out 5 pennies and 5 pennies and go down to Spears' little store and buy a fudsicle.
Until they were all
But he
gone.
knew you were taking them. too.
Oh yeah, he knew I took them till they were all gone.
Oh.
What were your family holidays like?
Oh, Christmas was a big time.
Tell
Yeah.
Nani's tree.
Yeah, Nani's tree, my mother's tree was beautiful. Every year they looked just exactly the same, and she had those candles that you clip on and light.
Real candles.
Real, it was.
Real
You-
candles.
And she lit all the candles.
And didn't she go in the forest there?
Well, they
And
cut
she
their own
cut
tree.
it, yeah, she cut the top of the tree so she could get almost a perfect
Yeah.
Yeah.
tree.
Everything she did was amazing, that woman.
And the cooking was
Oh, my
absolutely
God.
to die for. Yeah.
Yeah, my mother worked very hard and had a lot of babies.
One every 9
And
months.
so good natured. She never, wasn't she good natured?
She had the huge garden, and they had chickens, and her canning was beautiful.
They used to
How about the cow?
have prunes, and she actually worked the horse with the sled.
Just before she died, I remember
The
that.
boxes to pick up the
Yeah.
prunes.
Wow.
Yes,
She did that
And then
and,
it wasn't like this, it was like this and
yeah,
like this.
that ranch was,
It was on the
she-
hillside.
oh, God.
she did this in October and she
She died
passed
in
away in
December.
December. In fact, tomorrow will be her anniversary.
Yeah.
She passed away.
yeah.
What was your dad like?
Papa. We called him Papa.
He was a tough little
Papa.
Italian.
He was a tough old
He
guy.
had a good
When
heart.
he was sober, he was hard worker. He was okay, but when he drank, he was ornery to my mother.
Yeah.
Glad I missed, I'm glad I missed that relative.
You never knew him at all, huh?
Oh, he died
But
in
when
Oh,
50.
that's right.
He died
When
in
he
50.
didn't drink, he was good, but when he drank, he changed.
Did you have any like daily chores as a kid or?
At home,
Yeah.
oh, I had to pick apples off the ground. I picked cherries. We cut pears.
They had,
Most ranch work, you know.
Most ranch.
they had every kind of a fruit on that ranch you could imagine.
Wow.
It was quite a ranch.
And I found the first ripe peach, the first ripe cherry.
Every year that was
Every
your.
Every
year.
year, my dad used to say, if any fruit is ripe, I would find it first.
And he made his own wine,
He
remember?
made his own wine.
His own prosciutto. They butchered it was kind of a gathering, like the Chia family and the Mancinis and the Giustis, once a year. Like it usually always occurred in the fall, like November, December. And they each had a pig to butcher. And what they do, all the families would go over to one person's ranch and they'd kill the pig and process it. Then the next day or so they'd go over, right?
Yeah.
As a group and they'd make blood sausage and sausage and what else they make? Prosciutto.
Blood sauce, yeah.
Yeah, they made it, and they didn't waste anything on the pig, believe me.
I know.
But they knew how to do it.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
But my grandfather could make the best prosciutto.
Oh,
God.
no, tell me
I
about
was
it.
always just praying there, throw it up there, he'd take it out. He'd take it out and.
You have that white sheet hanging in the little pit right off
Yeah,
the kitchen there.
yeah, he'd take it, it was wrapped like in a cheesecloth, and then he'd have this sharp knife.
And he'd slice
He'd
it.
hold it like a violin, you know?
Talk about cutting
And
your
then
hand.
he'd just, oh,
Oh, yeah.
my eyes would get that big.
Yeah, I cut my hand cutting the prosciutto one time.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah,
And then the mushroom, your mother used to like them. The poor thing never took a vacation in her
She
life.
said the mushroom season was her vacation.
She'd go mushroom hunting.
Yeah.
And one time she tried mushrooms that she thought were probably not right, and she tried it and it almost killed her.
Yeah, they had to rush her to the hospital,
Yeah, she knew better.
but yet she had to try it.
Yeah, yeah.
You go ahead and ask me a question.
You continued to mushroom hunt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Jim's been wanting to go too.
I go through up in
He
days.
can't tomorrow, he's working.
So that's at least 4 Brad still mushroom hunts, so that's how many generations of
4.
mushroom hunting?
5?
Yeah,
Well, you gotta figure though, the old man and
yeah,
Carlos.
that's one generation, Papa. And then she's second generation, I'm third generation. Jimmy's
Jim.
fourth generation,
And
Brad's
Brad,
fifth
five.
generation.
Yeah, and Brad
And
is.
pretty soon he'll be taking Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Old Sawyer.
I thought Sawyer was 5th generation.
No, Brad, let's see.
Well, we're going back to.
Yeah, we're going back to.
When it
We're going back to
started.
her father.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
She's the
okay.
fifth.
yeah.
I mean, what's his name, little
Yeah.
guy's the fifth, yeah.
Yeah, like Koa.
We're going by, this year was the 5th living generation, yeah.
Yeah, Kohler made me the 5th and Sawyer made me the 5th generation.
Mama was died when you were what, 5 or 6 from the Krupps?
Yeah.
8? What were you?
No, I was 9.
9?
9.
She got the Krupps and they had given her up because there was nothing they could do. Who saved you? Pete?
My brother Pete called Dr. Marsh and he saved my life, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he was in Guerneville, Dr. Marsh, or was he in Sebastopol?
Sebastopol.
What is croups?
It's like pneumonia with heavy congestion,
Yeah, it's
like
congestion.
junk on your chest.
Children
It's-
get it
Yeah,
usually.
yeah.
They, it's really frightening.
What was your first car, Nani? Did you drive?
I drove, but I drove my husband's car,
It
a
was a
Buick.
41 Buick four-door sedan. I learned to drive on it. That's where I learned to drive.
When you weren't even, what, 9?
10.
10 or 9?
I let Indian Creek is where I used to fly with that son of a bitch. I'd go fast, I'd scare myself, I'd be shaking my stuff. Had a 4-shift in it, remember?
Yeah. Dad let him drive when he was a big, how about the big truck?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, big semi, let him move it in the
Yeah.
yard when he was
Whoa.
like,
Didn't we hit the black ice with the Buick?
Yes, we sure did,
There on Trenton Road?
right.
Yeah.
I was in the, yeah, I was there too. I never
And
Yeah.
the second car was a little 49 black Chevy torpedo back, remember that one?
Right.
Then we could have killed Dad when he bought the 53 Chevy.
the white with
Of
the
all
red top.
cars, it was a white with a red top, it looked like a woodpecker. I've never seen another one like it, that color.
I've seen it on TV in
Of all the
Cuba, they had one. That must be our old car.
And I went to Cuba.
Yeah.
But when he pulled in the driveway with it, your look on your face, say, you couldn't have picked a different colored car. And then you got what? Then you got the Pontiac?
The
white
Pontiac Bonneville, that sucker got it.
No,
Yeah.
we got a black one from the black car.
That was a 49 Chevy, I told you that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We went to Oregon in it.
That's
to
right.
see great grandma.
That's right.
Is that the one where I'm little and I'm looking out the window?
torpedo back,
I
yeah.
was just little?
Yeah.
I'm a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it was the 53
Yeah.
Chevy, then the Pontiac, then you had her Riviera for a while.
Yeah, then you had the Chrysler.
Chrysler, yeah.
What was the one that, I was learning how to drive and
Oh,
I was,
God.
I back it
you
out of
never
the
had one.
garage
That's-
and I turn it in the yard and then I pull back the garage. Well, one time when I went to pull out, I forgot to close the side garage door and I hit that.
Well, I tell you what,
I
we had
smashed the
had
side
that
of-
white 59 Thunderbird, we just bought the house now.
Uh-huh.
And I came home from work and the Thunderbird was half out of the garage and the garage door was down. What Judy did, she opened the door to look back when she was backing out and the door hit the post and I could have killed her.
All right.
Really
We all
good.
have stories like that.
Let's see what else she wants to
Okay,
ask.
what else you gonna ask me?
What about like your birth stories of your children? What was that like? Like, who was your firstborn child? Grandma Dorothy?
Yeah.
What was it like to have a baby whenever?
Oh, I had an easy birth with all my kids. No stitches, no nothing.
Mine almost,
I
I almost fell on the floor, you said.
He
She was
almost
having
slid
on,
off
she
the
was having on
floor.
the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came off the gurney almost. Yeah.
What's wrong with
And
that?
when I had Joan,
9 years later, usually that's harder birth.
Yeah.
She almost had me on the way.
yeah, I went to
Yeah, I
Memorial
remember.
Hospital at
11:30.
30, I think, and she was born 5 after 12.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when you went, Dorothy and I were home, remember? You know, and you guys were,
Mary was with us, wasn't she?
yeah, Mary came over, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like raising kids?
What'd you say?
What was it like raising your kids?
Oh, it was hard.
Yeah.
Because my poor husband made very little money, you know, but we got by.
We always had good food on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always lived in a nice
We always had
house.
good clothes,
Yeah.
yeah.
We had the necessities, you know, just didn't have a lot of extra, you know. And they never went on vacation or anything.
Oh, no.
So I was glad in their old age that, or not even old age, retirement age, they got to travel.
Yeah.
You know, and Dad was never a traveler, but I think he really enjoyed that. Because first of all, I have to break my dad. Yeah, he was all for that.
Your little guy's, he's gonna be a good eater, just like the rest of us. All of us love to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what'd you say?
What's your best piece of relationship advice?
Relationship advice.
Like
Married couple.
Brad,
Oh,
married
oh.
couple.
be true to each other
There you go, and respectful.
and respectful, yeah.
And if you were to have like one wish and hope for the future of the world and Sawyer and Koa, what would that be?
World peace, probably.
Peace.
Yeah, world
And
peace.
get rid of this COVID-19, I think. would be
Yeah,
right.
get rid of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but
Get
then
rid
something
of
else
this,
will hit, you know,
yeah.
just
Virus, yeah.
Actually, speaking of COVID-19, do you remember any time in your life that anything such as a pandemic like COVID-19 happened?
1918, they had the,
Yes.
before she
Yeah.
was born.
And then,
You lost your.
my
your
aunt, yeah, in San Francisco. And,
so you lost your
then
grandmother.
in, did I mention polio?
No, what was
In
that? Like?
let me think here now.
What was that, in the 40s?
1943 and 44, polio broke out in Sonoma County.
What's that?
And I'd give Buck and Dorothy 2 baths a day. I thought if I kept them extra clean, they
Mhm.
wouldn't get the polio.
Oh,
And it worked, yeah.
wow, that's great. Do you remember when they got a vaccine? How long did it take for them to get a vaccine for polio?
I don't remember that.
Okay,
I know I had it.
yeah.
Yeah. Dorothy
And I had
Yeah.
measles, and I had measles too. Did I have measles shot?
I
Yeah,
can't remember when.
I had the measles and the chicken.
But they didn't have it
They
by
didn't
that,
have, no, they
by
didn't
that
have.
time. Because she said it was new when I got it.
Oh.
And then I didn't get it very bad. She thought it was because of the shot,
Oh.
which I thought, well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to, you know.
You mentioned, I think, that your mother's from Italy? Or
no,
Father.
she was born in Forestville, California.
okay, so your father was born in Italy.
Italy, and he came over here at 17.
So where is your mother's family from?
Forestville.
Okay,
No.
before that, where did they?
They're in Vallico, another little village over the hill from where her father was born.
Oh, okay,
And it,
So somewhere else in
and her
Italy
father
also.
was born in Sant'Anacleto.
In Vallico.
Yeah.
Right over the
My,
hill.
my mother's family came from Vallico, Italy, and my father came from Saplacaneto, Italy.
Yeah.
It was all in the Luca Valley and.
And tell him how he
Tuscany.
came over here with all his brothers.
No, they didn't all come over together. He came over by himself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They all came over at one time. He was one of six
Six of them, and then
brothers.
3 of them went back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they all came over at
And the
one
girl
time.
never came because she died over there. There was
Yeah,
one-
the
one
sister,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nani was born in Forestville on Martinelli Road, but her parents were born over in the old country.
Yeah. In Vallico.
Is there any family traditions that you remember as a kid that have been able to, that you've continued?
To pass on. Probably mushroom hunting, that's about it.
That's about it, yeah.
These things have changed so much.
Cooking.
Cooking.
Well, hunting, I mean,
Your raviolis.
I do a lot of hunting and fishing. The boys all did hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
Henry and Frank.
Yeah,
and
all the
me.
My
boys were
oldest
hunters,
brother
yeah.
was a terrific shooter,
Yeah, he was a good hunter.
yeah.
They drafted him in the war. He was how old? 34, 35?
37.
37.
They brought,
And he drafted him.
yeah, my brother.
And he fought in World
And they
War
sent
II.
him to New Guinea,
And he was right in the front line.
yeah,
He was a sniper, wasn't he?
Well, he was
Yeah.
yeah.
In charge of a snipe hunt. Well, he went because he wasn't married. And
Yeah, but
Nani,
see, he should have never went because he ran the ranch for the folks. He was,
Nani went for him
and
and
they wouldn't, they wouldn't,
the only way they would have done that if he was the only son.
yeah,
I just read a book and
That
it's
makes
about
sense.
World War II. If he was the only son,
yeah.
he would have got away with it,
Yeah.
staying home, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Even though he was the oldest, but.
And he had a lot of problems when he came home.
Yeah, poor guy.
Post war, you know.
He was more like Nani than any of them.
Yeah.
Very, very passive, very good natured. Give you the shirt off his back, you know.
Hard work is hard.
Yeah.
I never really got to know Pete that well because he
No,
died when I
no.
was young.
No, you were little.
Yeah.
And Henry, he got his hand shot off.
Yeah. Hunting him and Pete.
Him and Pete, they both went for the gun at the same time and it went off.
Oh
Blew
my.
his hand off.
All he had left was just
Made a
his
big
finger
like
and
thing.
thumb, yeah.
But he worked and raised a family,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But he almost died because he got blood poisoning
Yeah,
from it.
yeah, that was,
These are her brothers, her siblings.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so as Nani's children and Nano's children, what are like some of your guys' favorite memories of your childhood or just being their children?
Oh, going up to our grandmother's place every Sunday afternoon for dinner.
Yeah,
Oh.
We had a family dinner. They
Yeah,
every
yeah.
Sunday. She
we
cooked.
never did.
And she'd have a house.
Yeah,
full.
you guys did.
There'd be sometimes what? A lot of people,
No.
relatives from the
Well,
city.
they'd want to come up, and then Fred and Jenny would come up from Sonoma.
There was always a house.
Yeah.
All the cousins, yeah.
And she
And she
She made
cooked
the
on a
best-
wood burning stove.
she made raviolis, and she could cook a venison roast. You think it was?
She could cook any roast. I remember her potatoes being brown all the way around evenly. This woman could make,
Yeah,
ugh.
yeah. That was
She baked bread outside an igloo, you know.
outside oven like.
Yeah, and she worked, you know, she did all the laundry on a scrub board. She never had a washing machine until Frank bought her one. And
Yeah.
it was the old crank kind. That woman, you talk about a tough woman,
She got married at 17.
had her first baby a year later and went every 9 months till she was what, 36 or something like
Yeah.
that? Unbelievable,
Wow.
unbelievable.
Well, Dad's mom the same way.
Yeah, but Grandma didn't work like Nani did on the ranch. Like she
Yeah.
worked with the men, did all the house, you know, all the cooking, the canning, all. Yeah, and had a baby.
Picked hops at Walter Ranch.
Yeah, I mean, Grandma, of course, she had a lot of kids and it was a lot of work, but she didn't do the work on the
Not
ranch.
physical, not physical.
Yeah,
No,
not physical, no.
No, Nani worked. She was like incredible. I think about all she's done, and I thought, women today would never survive it. But then again, that was her lifestyle then. It's a little
They
different.
didn't have a TV, you
Yeah.
know?
They didn't even have a radio.
No.
That phonograph, they bought when she was 5 years old.
Yeah,
And that was one thing I got. Nani said that was mine. And,
Yeah.
you know, and,
I think eventually had a radio though, didn't they?
I
oh,
think so.
probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think Frank bought Nani the TV too.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
And the refrigerator
Yeah,
and the washing machine.
I remember the refrigerator. Yeah.
Because he lived at home, but he didn't get married till he was like in his early 50s. So, yeah.
Wow.
Great guy.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was a typical Italian household, you know,
Yeah, but
loud.
that was our fun day, our Sunday, every Sunday.
Yeah, I got screwed out of that. I didn't get
No,
that. I mean, we went up to Nani's and I mean, but
I remember you and I used to stay overnight,
Yeah.
and we could smell that coffee, and Nani let it, we were little, but she always let us have coffee.
yeah,
And
I
they
had
had a
coffee.
big spring on the ranch, and the water was
Oh.
just fabulous, and you never drank coffee. It was almost like the color of tea.
Yeah, it was real
Well, she
white.
made it
She
real
made
white.
it real weak.
Yeah, she
But
made it
it, but
real
it
weak.
had flavor. You
Remember the
can't-
time I
you
set the
can't get
clock
the
ahead?
flavor today.
When I had Joan, or was it the hospital I had Joan, I sent Buck and Dorothy with my mother. And she happened to look at the clock.
Well, my job was to feed the chickens in the morning, and I would feed them again in the afternoon. Well, I fed them in the morning, but I got tired of waiting around, so I set the clock ahead a little bit. And she looked at the clock, and she said, "Did you turn the clock for you?" Because I wanted to go feed the
Right,
chickens.
right. Well, you were only 9 years
She
old.
called me. Remember?
Yeah, she caught him.
What a good gal. What a sweet.
Oh.
Not a mean bone in her body, believe me.
Huh?
Not a mean bone in her body.
No,
No.
no. Like I said, she was quiet, but she was strong.
Oh,
She was subservient to my grandfather. I mean, why she didn't hit him along the head with a frying pan, I don't know, because, I mean, he was, you know, everything wasn't just
well, it was
right.
like Clarence and stuff.
You
I mean,
know?
those old timers. They
But
were-
you know, but I'll tell you, she was really stronger than the old man, I feel.
Sure she
For-
was.
Well, I mean, look at,
Yeah, she
had
was.
12 kids and, you know, put up with his bull.
Yeah,
You know,
she was.
yeah.
A good gal.
Did she pass away from old age or?
No, she was 75 when she
She
died.
had, basically, we know she had a blood clot, and she would not go to the doctor because she could hardly walk anymore from an injury from a dog jumping on her. And then she sold the house, and in the process, she got the heart attack, and
Well, that was a big strain on her too.
yeah,
Someone
oh
getting off the
yeah.
ranch.
Well, she always said when she left, she'd be in her wooden box, and she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. She said, "I work hard, but that's her life." Yet she enjoyed it, you know.
One thing my dad did do, he built her a beautiful home.
Yeah, he did, but she earned it too.
5 bedrooms.
Wow.
That was a good beautiful old house.
Yeah, that house sold for way over $1 million.
Yeah,
Well,
she
the
sold it for,
property,
in
well.
'62 for something, what, 60,000?
Yeah, not yet, yeah.
And quite a few years back, it sold for 1.2 million. And it was less acreage besides. It
Yeah.
wasn't 22 acres anymore, it was 12 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they would not believe it now.
They
Yeah.
had a parlor, you know.
Yeah, it was a
It
beautiful
was a
home.
really a nice home in those days.
They had a
Beautiful
fireplace that took the whole wall, I mean,
Took the whole
Yeah.
wall.
it was just, you could almost stand in it,
Yeah.
walk in it.
And they had a dining room table. They didn't have a living room, huh? Everybody
Well,
had.
they had a parlor.
Well, yeah, they had a parlor, but mostly everybody congregated around that
Well,
big
sure.
table.
Oh, yeah.
That was the main big room of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it had, what was that?
Paneling.
Yeah,
But
dark-
like mahogany?
It was a dark paneling with a
Yeah.
shelf kind of around, yeah, that was still a style back there in the early 20s or whatever.
I got pictures of the house someday if you want some.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I have some too. I took.
Did you ever get some back of the house?
Yeah, but it was years later. I mean, just
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't years ago.
I
You
got
guys
some,
never
they're
took
just
pictures?
small little ones,
Yeah.
but they're, when the
Yeah.
house was first built.
Yeah.
This is a funny question. Did you have shoes when you were a little kid, Nani?
Shoes.
Yeah, shoes, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dad didn't though.
No, Dad didn't
What?
have
Yeah,
shoes.
No.
Do you guys know how Nana, what his childhood was like?
It was rough.
Yeah.
He was born in Nebraska, and they didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nothing.
he did not have shoes. I remember him telling me, "You look like a damn Okie." He says, "You got all kinds of shoes. You're barefooted all." I remember when I was little, I'd run around even in wintertime. He said, "I never had shoes," and he said, "You got them, and you never wear them."
And
But
then they traveled, they went to Wyoming, and from
yeah, they went to
Wyoming.
Wyoming and dropped a couple kids there.
Yeah, and then from there they went to Freestone or California, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Settled in.
Yeah, the rest of the herd.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad didn't have it easy.
His father was did he ever really work with it? He broke
I
horses.
don't know.
Well, and then he was he worked in the woods.
And he broke horses, that was one of his,
Yeah, but he worked in the woods too, I think, falling
Did he?
trees, yeah.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah, yeah.
But he sort of,
but he didn't come from a poor family.
no, he didn't.
He only had a sister, there was only 2 kids.
Stella.
And Stella, and
But
then,
he-
We used to celebrate Christmas a lot at our house. And there was a couple that lived, their last name was Valentini, and they all played instruments. And they'd come down Christmas night and we would dance in the living room.
you pull the table out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, that's precious. All right, Nani, I think that's all I have for questions. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you all for doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love
It
you.
was very nice of you to do that.